to get uncensored. Have a great weekend, everybody.
The silver and the bronze. I give you Canada, France, Germany, Serbia, and Australia.
Germany, more so than Canada. I think that their talent, it's a little more tiered. You know what Dennis Schroeder's capable of. Franz Wagner, another player. Daniel Theis steps up. And Mo Wagner as well. They're built to really take advantage of the mistakes that Team USA makes, and they can make the effort plays.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Hopefully they learned their lesson. Hey, this ain't the NBA, bro. You don't have 6 fouls, and they will check you on this stuff. And Brooks has a reputation coming into this. You can tell the refs are watching them, and they were on him all the time.
This was 10, 12 years ago. Canada playing Greece with that type of lead that they had. They probably would have mentally crumbled and lost that game to Greece by 3 or 4 points in the final minute of that ball game.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's pain-free Friday. Ferrall's doling out minutes on the mahogany, waxing it up. 100, 200, a bad seed, a broken, a bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City. The Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up, Snoopy, along with the golf guru himself, the ticket-cashing, tater-picking freak that he is, Carver High. Mafia running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown on C2C on this last weekday, Friday. We get closer and closer to college football. I know that Carver High has been keeping a close tab on those days left. We have Morency, a double shot from Vancouver this very hour, plus Kyle Irving, which is Kyrie's cousin, from the Sporting News, talking about the men's and women's basketball with us today. Gino Bacola, our boy from the Daily Racing Farm, with some horse selections for you, some ponies to pick for this weekend around Saratoga, Del Mar, wherever he can find the cash. Plus, in the final hour, Joe Pisapia, our friend from Fantasy Sports Today, talking NFL with us. Carver High, this is it, the final weekend of the Olympics. Thank God. I got to tell you, I've enjoyed it immensely, but it's trailing off on me. It really is. Like I'm at the end of the road.
Running out of gas.
Now. Yeah,
you're running out of gas with the Olympics.
Just don't care.
The tank's almost full.
I've had enough of it. Like I've watched, and when you know it's over is when you're watching stuff in the morning, and because I get up early, I get a lot done, and then whether I'm balling or whatever, I'm up early, so I see all this stuff early in the morning, and then when I settle in for my primetime viewing at night, I turn on the Olympics, and it's all the same stuff that they had live in the morning that they re-air. So it's gotten, re-upping videos, replays. replayitis. I've had enough of it. Like, wrap it up.
Well,
let's get the chick Ledecky and this guy Meade. Get him a flag. Let's
get
wrap
him the
it
flags.
up. Let's get the ceremony and get him out of here, out of Dodge.
Get him
they got
the
enough people
flags
that picked up
and
STDs and everything
get him
else.
out of here.
Get him out.
Get him the flags and get him out of here. Let's go. Close up shop over there in Paris. Since you asked, I'll tell you, after today, there is only one more Coast to Coast Summer Friday without football to preview for the weekend. Only one more. Next Friday, the 16th, there's no football. I'm not counting preseason, NFL preseason games. I'm saying real games. 2 weeks from today, we will have, of course, college football on that Saturday with Georgia Tech and Florida State in Dublin. There's a couple of other straggler games on that Saturday.
So you're saying that next week's the last Friday where there's no college football. The following Friday we do a show, and then that next day there's games.
Correct. You have the Ireland kickoff with Florida State and Georgia Tech, and there's a couple other Week 0 straggler games like SMU, Nevada.
Are there games that Friday night?
No. Saturday, I believe that Dublin game is the first game. That noon East Saturday is the first actual college football game of the season. So we're getting very close to all of that. But like you said, this is the last weekend that we have the Olympics in front of us. And I have to tell you, I was just watching the end of the soccer gold medal game, which was France and Spain. And as we always like to say around here on Coast to Coast, Spain never loses.
Spain never loses.
Spain never loses.
I watched that.
They tried. They were up 3-1.
Right.
France equalized in stoppage
on a penalty
time with
kick.
a penalty. Unbelievable call. 3-3 was the highest scoring gold medal game in the history of the Olympics. That Spain and so 5-3 the final. They scored 2 goals in extra time, and they now win the gold. France will take the silver. The U.S. women's basketball team smashed Australia earlier today. 20-point win for them. No problems whatsoever. They're on to the gold.
I just want to say,
yes.
I didn't watch. I saw they won big, but I am watching the Australian beach volleyball match right now, and I think I want to sleep with both of those chicks from Australia. Are we on the air? Don't talk about
we are
having. Don't. Okay, the red phone just rang.
That would be your girls Clancy and Marify, who are in that.
Who cares what their name is?
Taking on the girls from Switzerland in that matchup. So you have the United States women on their way to the final.
One of the
They'll
Swiss
play the
chicks
winner.
is kind of good looking too. While I'm at it, I give both of them a decent grade right here in the recruiting. As you know, there's constant talent. I'm always recruiting.
Constant. Belgium leads France 8-4. That is, of course, who the United States women will play in the basketball final on Sunday for the gold. So you have that going on now, too.
Honestly, now we have to at least comment here. I believe, one of the top 5 Belgian waffle eaters of all time. As you know, Carver High, you've never gone to breakfast with me over the years. Over a decade of breakfasts in Vegas or otherwise, that you haven't seen me scarf down multiple Belgian waffles with whipped cream and syrup. Like a big fan of Belgium, just for waffles only. I don't root for them in any sports, but I like their waffles.
They do have good waffles. I'm not going to lie to you on that. Otherwise, besides that, the United States women won the 4x100 gold. Sha'Carri Richardson finished the job there. She was, of course, the last leg of that and got it done, her first gold medal. And the men did not medal. Canada won the gold in the men's 4x100. So nice job by them. We'll keep you updated. Like you said, there's some beach volleyball. You have that other women's basketball game as we get to the end Sunday.
I mean, honestly, what is left here?
When is this
going to end?
I was just looking. All you have tomorrow, gold medal men, United States, France for the hoops. You have that tomorrow. You have the bronze game at 5 a.m. between Germany and Serbia.
Zero viewers.
You have the gold medal women's soccer game, United States, Brazil. That'll be a good game with the United States trying to win gold against Marta. You have the final round of the women's golf. That's tomorrow as well, as they will crown a champion.
I saw that girl Korda made a charge.
I think she's 4 back going into the final round tomorrow. So, hey, I saw Scheffler come from deep back on the back nine last week in the final round. Maybe Nelly Korda could
Did
do
you
the
see
same
her
thing.
hold that shot from far out?
Yeah. If only she didn't make a 7 on a par 3 on yesterday, maybe she would have been all right and been in the mix here going into the weekend. You have the gold medal beach volleyball tomorrow, so we're kind of there towards the end of the line. Sunday, there's really not much, just the closing ceremonies and a few other things that they have to
take
finish.
back what I said about the Aussie beach volleyball team. They called a timeout, and when they went over to their little tent, I have reviewed the game film and have decided that one of them will have to be eliminated from my earlier assessment of
made a retraction.
Double relations. This is clearly just now this is a one chick race now from the Aussie. I'll take the one from Swiss, one from Aussie, and we can have a wonderful evening.
Here's what we got going on. There is day ball today. Game 1 of a doubleheader in Minnesota. Big weekend series between these two, the Twins and the Guardians. And the Twins are up 3-0, top of the 5th. They just got a homer from Ryan Jeffers to go up 3-0. Your boy, Carlos Santana, so smooth, has a home run in this game as well. There's a lot of baseball tonight. The Yankees have already been rained out. They'll play 2 with the Rangers tomorrow. The golf did start finally. Round 1 of the Wyndham Championship going on at Greensboro, as they did a hell of a job, that grounds crew, to get it going. Your boy, Bo Hostler, 8 under through 13. Your boy shot like 27 on the front 9 as he has been smoking hot. Austin Eckroat's around. Jordan Spieth 4 under, who needs to get some points this weekend.
I don't know how that Austin Eckert can play NFL and still have time to golf every Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It is truly amazing. Two Spartan star.
Hopefully they learned their lesson. Hey, this ain't the NBA, bro. You don't have 6 fouls, and they will check you on this stuff. And Brooks has a reputation coming into this. You can tell the refs are watching them, and they were on him all the time.
This was 10, 12 years ago. Canada playing Greece with that type of lead that they had. They probably would have mentally crumbled and lost that game to Greece by 3 or 4 points in the final minute of that ball game.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Try and set the stage for what should be a great year of NFL action.
There's a handful of teams that potentially can compete for a Super Bowl championship.
Confusion and uncertainty this year more than some in the past.
This team looks like it's ready to make a move, but we just don't know if it's bad or good this year.
J.J. McCarthy is eventually going to take over, but it's a no-lose situation for them.
I mean, they suck. They were 7-10.
Only on SportsGrid.
That race for the Cy Young, pretty much as equally compelling and intriguing as the race for the wild card spots in the National League.
And also keep in mind, this team doesn't pitch the entire season, so his ERA gets affected much, much more if he has a poor outing than, let's just say, Chris Sale or Zach Wheeler that's been there all season long. This would be a fun one to watch it play out, but the big loser last night were the Phillies and Zach Wheeler.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
Their coach has a personality that is New York City. Tough, grinding, defensive, no holds barred. We muck this game up and we make you play it our way. And Tips has been rewarded. And he should be rewarded for what he's done with the Knicks.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid.
Oh, what's up? You watching the game? Or maybe the one later? Put a little BetMGM action on it, and now any game becomes the game. When you got overs and unders, you're in it every time they throw the ball, kick the ball, dribble the ball. Maybe it's not even a ball. Who needs a ball? Now that bet's got you watching every inning, half, round, period, set, hole, a lap. Right from the edge of your seat. Hit them with the promo.
can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 on everything. SportsGrid.com, SportsGrid app, SportsGrid.com/watch, on all of our, streaming networks, on all the new TVs you got out there. You can search SportsGrid and get us. All of the outlets, all the radio, Sirius XM Channel 159, Sports Byline USA, and all their affiliates. And we're lucky to have Game On twice, a double shot every day on C2C. He's very excited today. He pulled out of the breakdancing final. He was going to dance, but at the last minute decided to go drinking and celebrating the Canadian win in track and field that was so huge. The upset was so huge that Morency decided not to break dance in the men's final.
It was such a big upset, I actually didn't bet it, which is just sort of bittersweet. I'm enjoying the moment for them. It's one of those iconic moments. But the Canadian men's track athletes really didn't perform very well this week. A lot of them, they were sick. One of their coaches got sent home due to a controversy and allegations of abuse. So it was kind of a dark week for the Canadian men's track team, who in the past have been good, right? They have Donovan Bailey. You've got, and the Netherlands just scored in women's field hockey, gold medal match. China and Netherlands now tied at 1. Big-time match here. And I'm going to get to this in a second as far as the massive upset, Scott. But long story short, remember in the old days, Ben Johnson, who got caught, he was juiced up when he smashed Carl Lewis. Donovan Bailey, Brony Cern. There's a big history of Canadian track that's pretty good. Yet, like I said, it was a dark week. To put in perspective, they were the 7th lowest odds to win the gold medal, guys. They were plus 400 to make the podium, all right? Plus 3,300, 33 to 1. $10 would have gotten you back. $100 would have gotten back $3,300, Scott. And Canada actually wins. The USA disqualified. They can't even pass the baton properly. Talking all that smack before the race. Yesterday when the dude from Botswana beat Noah Lyles, after they said, what do you have to say? He goes, I don't have anything to say. I'm not Noah Lyles. And he just walked away. It's pretty clear. They don't like this guy. Yeah, the guy he goes, I'm not Noah Lyles. I don't have anything to say. No smack talk. He goes, it was such a shade and a mic drop thing. And there's a clip of Noah Lyles from 2 months ago when a reporter from Jamaica asked him, what do you think about the Canadian track team? Are they a threat to you? And he's like, who? Canada? He starts laughing his ass off. It's like, all right, bro, have fun with your COVID plane ride back home when Canada's getting drunk on the plane with their gold medal, jackass. Hey, just tell her like it is, bro.
What do I care about that Noah Lyles? I give a rat's ass about him. He was the same guy. So I did a clip saying he was Manny Pacquiao. My shoulder hurts. I got a cough.
Yeah. Well, I don't like going after Olympians, Scott. They're performing. It's all this. But if you're going to talk smack about everyone else and dismiss all your other opponents, and listen, you won the world. You won the 100 meters. But let's be real, Scott. You won by
you got that.
Yeah, even you thought the Jamaican guy won. Let's just be real. I like to see you run again. I got to take the Jamaican guy. You didn't win your 200. You didn't get the men's relay here. It's like, dude, I wouldn't be talking so much anymore. You seem to lose more than you win.
Listen, that was great. Enjoy your COVID rhino. Everyone's going to get it on the plane. It's with him.
Yeah, Canada, Scott, be sipping champagne with their medals. Going, this is great. I got an endorsement deal with the Bank of Montreal already, guys.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
What did he get? So I said that he got the bronze, and he probably has to put that one in his sock drawer when you got a gold, and then you finish third in the 200 meter. You gotta give that one to your cousin or something, or put it in your sock drawer with your other medals.
A lot of people
that don't matter.
Well, it's true. A lot of people that win bronze are super happy, right? But when you're expected to win, it's a little bit different. I don't know if you saw it too. The medals are so cheaply made, the gold is already rubbing off.
What?
I swear to God, bro. Look it up. I wish I would have sent the pictures. There's a dude. The dudes have their gold medal, and they're like, I swear to God, I haven't done anything crazy with it. He goes, I've taken pictures with it. He goes, I had it around my chest, and I wasn't wearing a shirt. And he goes, the sweat Dude, these gold medals aren't really gold. They're gold plated.
What's next? You're going to tell me the Notre Dame helmets aren't gold?
Dude, the Notre Dame helmets are worth more than these gold medals are. Like, no, they're like,
what are they?
I swear to God, you got to get a picture up during the break here if you can. It looks like the guy goes, man, it looks like it was in a war zone. The medal, it looks like it's from the 1908 Olympics, Scott, now already. It's like 5 days in. The gold is all off of it.
He got a gold, and now it's already a bronze.
Supposedly, he got a defective one. They're all bronze, exactly. They're all bronze. They put a little shine over it and stuff like that. My grandfather won a silver medal in 1936, and it actually is silver. Like in the old days, they didn't play around.
In Berlin?
Yeah.
In what
The
sport?
crazy games. Ice hockey.
Oh, that's great.
He was on Team Canada.
Yeah, that's great. Like he played in the league, didn't he? Or when did he? You said he was a pro hockey player.
They played for the Canadians, the Montreal Royals. You know, his career was kind of during the war era. So he had the Olympics.
What was the team up there? What was the team in Toronto? The Marlies? Are they still around?
That's their farm team now.
Yeah, the Marlies are the farm team.
That's their AHL team.
Right. So that's crazy.
The NHL, Scott, used to not be like the dominant league. It wasn't until like the 40s type of deal. Like the Allen Cup used to be a big deal. Like no one cared about the Stanley Cup in 1920 and stuff. It was being real. Well, it wasn't the same.
We'll see what Morency's got action on for tonight and tomorrow. There's NFL preseason out the Ying.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the target. Right hand from my buddy, double champion. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Seen this breakdancing, Morency, but they have like it's like a rap war. Like remember in 8 Mile when Eminem went into the club and he took on all the rappers.
They both get on the stage at the same time and are looking at each other like, all right, go ahead, see what you got. Yeah.
And
I hope the man is a little edgier. It's not bad. The woman, it's cool. The hip hop world is enjoying it. I think the man will bring it a little bit more. It's very artistic. It's more artistic than I thought, Scott. Like it's almost to me, it's like. I don't know. You guys kind of look like gymnasts in tracksuits. Like, it's not really, you're not really like attacking the floor and like, I don't know. It's more, like I said, it's very artistic. Like the Brazilian girl did like this pose. Like there's all kinds of stuff going on here, but I don't know.
An Olympic sport.
No.
Thank you. Thank God. Thank God you didn't go south on me. There is no way.
Should BMX riding be an Olympic sport? No.
This should be the entertainment.
We have the X Games.
Events. It should be
we
the
have the X Games. Yeah, exactly. No, it's the opening ceremony. We have like, no, but like, no, it doesn't mean
this is the chick spinning plates on her finger.
It doesn't mean that it's not real. There's not competitions and stuff, but is the Olympics the right place for it? Right. That's my whole deal. It's not really the right place. Doesn't mean that it's not good. I'm not calling it out. And hey, I'm going to bet on the men. I didn't bet on the women's event, but I'm going to lay it down on my boy Phil Wizard from Toronto.
You need a shrink, bro. You're still betting on this stuff. All right, so tonight there's NFL.
Speaking of which, NFL preseason betting.
Well, you have to pretend like it's not preseason. Just pretend like it's an NFL game.
Last night, we hit both unders. We went 2-1 last night. I rolled the dice taking the Detroit Lions plus the 4 points. They got stuffed on the goal line twice. Nearly happened. A lot of these preseason games, guys, going to come down to a play or two. Like literally on the goal line, coach will go for it. You don't get it. You don't cover. But as far as tonight is concerned, the totals are pretty high for preseason football tonight, guys. The standard in preseason is like 33.5, 34.5. Look at the totals tonight, 38 with the Falcons and the Dolphins, 38.5 with the Texans and the Steelers, and a 36 with the Eagles and the Ravens. Remember, Scott, we talked about the Falcon-Dolphin game. They got Mike White. They got Skylar Thompson. I get it. But Miami's not really like, they haven't drafted great over the years, Miami. This is what you got to look at in the preseason, not just a quarterback rotation, but is it a deep team? Is it a veteran team? And you look at the Dolphins, guys, they're a free agent team. They're a mercenary team. They're all, you know what I mean? They have Tyreek Hills, and they just spend money, and they bring in like these high-profile players, the Jalen Ramseys of the world. Yeah, they're not built like for the preseason. They're not a deep, oh, yeah, these guys draft well. And, man, even their 6th-round backup linebackers are badass. They're kind of thin. And you look at the Falcons, they really do have a very good QB situation tonight going on. Michael Penix is a stud. He makes his debut. Nate Rourke was the most valuable player, guys, of the CFL. He's battling with Heineke for the 3rd-string job, and it's a legitimate competition. They want Rourke to win the job so they don't have to pay Heineke $4 million to be the 3rd-string quarterback. So Rourke, if you guys remember, this is hardcore, but last year in the preseason, he was on the Jags, and he played great in the 4th quarter for them against the Dallas Cowboys. So I think Rourke is ready to go here tonight. Heineke's trying to keep his job and keep his contract and not have to worry about bouncing around the league right now. So you got a new coaching staff, a new culture here in Atlanta. I like Atlanta on the money line. I'm not going to lay it. I told people to take it earlier in the week. It was a little lighter, but it's 2.5 minus 155 now. Give me the dirty bird on the money line, Scott. Your Pittsburgh Steelers tonight. Mike Tomlin, Harbaugh in the division. John Harbaugh is like the best preseason coach ever, right? We know he had like the 25-game win streak or whatever the hell it was, and that bubble's been burst. But Tomlin's not far behind, Scott. Tomlin's like right at the top of the list as far as veteran coaches in the preseason. He's 40-24 outright, Scott. That's not by accident. You don't go 40-24 and just by chance I've won that many preseason games. The Steelers have a competitive culture. Tomlin wants to see the players compete. I don't think he cares about winning and losing, but he wants to see them compete. And I don't think the Texans care either. Teams that play in that Hall of Fame game don't like this next game either. They like the game after. It's a bad spot that these teams are in. That's why no one likes playing in a Hall of Fame game. I don't really get why the Texans are 2.5-point favorites here. Give me the Pittsburgh Steelers. And finally, in closing, normally I would be on the Ravens, Scott, but the reason the Ravens won all the time is because they had great backup quarterbacks. They had Huntley. They had the Huntleys of the world. They don't have either anymore, bro. I think Philadelphia's actually to play with your boy Kenny Pickett tonight. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, Kenny Pickett. Yeah, he's going to play a lot.
Touchdown with his glove is going to beat
his little small
Ravens
baby hands.
Charm City. I've seen it all. All right, Morency, have a great weekend, buddy.
Thanks, Scott.
setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Always good to have Kyle Irving on. Kyrie's cousin from the Sporting News covers the basketball for us at the Olympics. Kyle, good to see you again, buddy. I thought that we were just talking about the game. That game was epic yesterday. And frankly, we'll talk about the game with France in a minute, but let's go back to what you thought were some of the differences. I thought Embiid's 19 was heavy. I thought his lit enthusiasm late in the game, getting emotional about Joker's travel, getting fired up, diving on the floor. The game was very violent away from the ball. They weren't calling anything away from the ball, and I think he liked that. And I thought Durant's defense, when he finally came in the game and contributed at the end, was huge. I thought Booker's three was huge at the top of the key off of the foul on Joker after the, KD three, count the three and the foul and the ball and the three from the top of the key. Those were some of the keys for me. And obviously Curry's shooting was phenomenal.
Yeah, there was also that stretch where Steph had a fast break layup. LeBron went down for a fast break layup, and then Steph had a steal and had another fast break layup. And right then and there, it felt like this is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for LeBron and Steph to be teammates. They were the two that stepped up in that moment. Like you said, I thought Joel Embiid on the offensive end, really gave them some energy at the beginning of that fourth quarter. He still had a couple of lapses on defense that led to open Serbia threes. But as you mentioned, that team was, shooting over 50% from three for the majority of the game. And then all of a sudden, it's not like they stopped getting good looks. They just stopped hitting the open looks, right. Which was pretty shocking. They really missed an opportunity to put the USA away there. But the other play that sticks out in my mind is Carmelo Anthony's on the sidelines. He's kind of coaching him up. Kevin Durant has the ball at the top of the key. He gets Stephen Curry sets him a screen. He gets the switch that he wants. And Kevin Durant is at the top of the key with USA up by 2 points on an island. And I don't think there's anybody in the entire country that didn't expect that shot to go down. We've just seen him hit that high hesitation crossover so many times, straight into a confident, smooth pull-up jumper to put the United States up by 4 and really put the game away. So there were a lot of signature moments. And like you said, that was fiery. Jokic is screaming on the sidelines. I've never really seen him react like that in an NBA game. Joel Embiid was getting all fired up. You could tell LeBron kind of kicked it into another gear. It really had all the makings of what felt like an instant classic.
I've never seen Bogdanovich play like that in my life. You've seen him hit shots in the NBA. He looks like a guy that in the NBA, to me, just a guy that's getting paid a lot of money to shoot threes. And he doesn't care. He just goes through the motions, in my opinion. But I got to tell you, he played that game like he was going to the electric chair. My man was all out playing. And I think he was really bummed out when they lost. Like, he legitimately looked like he needed a shrink. Like, he was crying after it was over. I mean, that guy played his ass off and had a 20-piece, and he had some huge shots. And then I just couldn't believe in the fourth how they missed 9 straight threes after they had hit so many off-screen, perfect off-screen threes. Like, they were getting the cleanest looks. And their ball movement for the open man, they were doubling Joker at times and leaving a guy wide open every time. And you know it's a kiss of death with that guy, Joker, when he finds the open man. And they were like shooting corner pocket, switch, all net splash threes. I couldn't believe they went cold, Kyle, honestly.
Yeah, that's why the one where, I was just talking to you about it before, Dobrich was wide open on the right wing. Serbia was, I think, up by 4 points with like 2.5 minutes left. He had been hitting those all night. The ball's in mid-flight, right. And I'm like, wow, they're really going to lose this game. And then he somehow missed. And that kind of, again, catalyzed the United States comeback. But, to your point, that's kind of the, the risk that you play against Nikola Jokic. Like, he's so gifted as a passer that if you double team him, he's going to find the open man like a sixth sense. It's incredible. There was a play in the fourth quarter also where I think it was LeBron James came to double from the baseline. Someone cut, it might have been Bogdanovich, cut baseline. And Jokic, before LeBron could even get there on the double team, threw a pass behind his head right to Bogdanovich for an easy layup. But, Bogey was a killer yesterday. It seemed like he gave himself a little bit of like added motivation. He was talking trash with Melo courtside. And, I know Melo was probably letting Serbia hear it back in 2016 when the United States beat them in the group stage and then smoked them by 30 points in the gold medal match. And Bogey was on that team as well. So maybe that's why he had a little bit more oomph to his game. But, like you said, he was a huge, huge reason why they had built the lead they did. And then, those are real tears at the end. Like, Serbia has to feel like they really let that one slip away. And that's where, the United States, like with the momentum that they're carrying going into the gold medal match, I don't know how they could, fall flat on their face after a game like that.
It was, for me, it's like the 80 hockey team. They won the game against Russia, and then they had to turn around and win another game. And they had to come from behind in that game, too. I feel like they have to go finish the deal. Like, obviously, there's one more step tomorrow against the home team playing on their home court in front of their fans in Paris. How will they handle the French and Wembanyama?
Yeah, I think that's, this is a France team that is surging all of a sudden. They didn't look very good at the beginning of the tournament. They made that lineup change where Rudy Gobert, originally we thought it was due to an injury. He had that finger thing that he was dealing with in the first round against Canada. But turns out as, they continue to move on, it was a head coaching decision from Vincent Collet to, just bench the 4-time defensive player of the year in favor of playing a faster, more versatile lineup. So now we're going to see the United States have to try and match up with, Wemby is the focal point of that team. But, they have to really take advantage of France's lackluster guard play. Frank Ntilikina is not going to get the job done against guys like Stephen Curry, against guys like Anthony Edwards, Devin Booker, who's played well. Isaiah Cordonier is someone who has been shooting the lights out in this tournament so far, but he's not really a known scorer. I saw someone tweet the other day that he only scored 18 or more points 3 times the entire EuroLeague season. He's done it twice already in back-to-back games in the knockout round for France. So, if you put a hand in that guy's face, he's going to start missing shots. And then with Wemby, I'm curious to see how they defend him because they could throw multiple bodies at him. I'm sure LeBron's going to get a look at him. I'm sure Bam Adebayo with that second unit is going to get a look at him. Maybe this is where Jason Tatum could come back into the rotation and maybe disrupt Wemby a little bit. But, he's the focal point of that team. And if you can slow down him, then, they're going to have to really rely on the other guys to step up. And that's why I like USA to get the job done.
So, one of my favorite parts of that game yesterday was when LeBron was on Joker late and he was banging with him in the low block and Joker was banging and giving him the shoulder and then he did the muscles. Yep. And then, but he really banged with him like 6'8", 260. Like, you cannot just push me around, brother. Like, he pushes people around. And he usually goes right around Embiid with quickness. He's got that hook spin, but he couldn't do it against LeBron. He was banging it. They eventually called the foul, but LeBron he wanted all the smoke. What about the ladies, Kyle? A blowout win today over Australia. Breanna Stewart was incredible. I thought Copper played great. Young, Wilson, they all played great. All had double figures. They're waiting for to find out who they're going to play in the gold medal game, but they look unstoppable.
Yeah, they're really impressive. And you know what? I'm really impressed with Cheryl Reeve, who, made that switch. She gave Diana Taurasi, her time in the spotlight as she's going for, another gold medal in the most by a women Olympian, I believe in USA basketball history, breaking the tie with Sue Bird. But, she could have stuck with the same starting lineup. They've won 60 straight games. She didn't have to do all that much, but she decided to move Diana Taurasi from the starting lineup, insert Jackie Young starting lineup, and Jackie Young has been incredible in back-to-back games. A huge reason why the ball is moving the way that it has been, why USA has been able to score as easily as they have been. And then I talked about it last time I was on here, but the biggest difference is A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart. Like, those two are so big and so athletic and so mobile that other countries just don't have bigs that are versatile enough to keep up with those two. A'ja Wilson had, another 4 blocks and 2 steals today. Like you said, Breanna Stewart was making the wheels turn on offense. That's a team that, again, 60 straight wins. They're going for a 61st straight win and an 8th consecutive gold medal. It just doesn't even sound right to say. That's just a different level of dominance.
Yeah, no doubt. Kyle Irving, always great talking rack with you, bro. Enjoy both of those gold medal games. It should be great basketball. Yesterday was phenomenal. Hopefully the game against France will top that, and hopefully the U.S. will get a gold and hoops on both sides. Thanks, buddy. Have a good weekend.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top, getting forward. Right hand from my boy, double jab. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
BetMGM first bet 1,500 is unreal. You got to do it. 4 easy steps. 1, download the app on iOS or Android or go to betmgm.com. 2, sign up, deposit 10 in your account. 3, place your first wager and receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if the bet loses. And 4, if your bet does lose, your bonus bets will be available once your initial wager is settled. Mike, the baseball from yesterday, very disappointing. The Angels beat the Yankees. It's embarrassing, but Luke, I am your father, did make it from the SportsGrid Network studios to his seat at Yankee Stadium 3 minutes before the Game 2 pitch to watch his friend who plays on the Angels perform at the highest level as a major league catcher. So Luke made it to the game, and that's really all that matters. And then he saw his friend score a run, and the Angels won the game, which was a fail on the Yankees' part. Fail.
Yeah, really, the whole week's kind of been a fail when you think about it, Scotty. The Yankees started August with their schedule really opening up to some of the worst teams around the league. Toronto and Anaheim coming to the Bronx, and they only go 3-3 during those 6 games. In fact, the Yankees have lost, get this, Scotty, 18 of their last 27 games in the Bronx. They have been miserable at home for a pretty good stretch now. Here's how it went last night. For them, 9-4, they lost to the Angels, and Joe Adell doing the damage, the bases clearing double on Bally Sports West.
Line drive, right field. Soto comes in, dives, he can't get it. It goes by him. O'Hoppe scores. Pilar scores. Rendon's on his way home. He'll make it in. Joe Adell unloads the bases. The Angels lead it 7-1.
Very disappointing, Carver High. Just an epic, terrible string in the boogie down for the Yankees. I can't even explain it. I thought they were over their malaise. I thought that they were breaking out of it when they got Jazz Chisholm, who, by the way, hit a home run, right? Finally in the Bronx. And I thought they had it all turned around. And then apparently I was wrong. They didn't turn anything around. They're back to losing again.
Their starters, Scotty, an MLB worst 6.26 ERA since June 15th. Now, that's not a couple weeks. That's not a month. That's 2 months. 6.26 that their starters have had that ERA. They did not make any moves at the deadline, but Aaron Boone says, that's all right. We've got the guys here that can get it done. He even tried to slip in here that he thought that Nestor Cortez pitched well last night. I mean, what game is this guy watching?
How confident are you right now in the state of the rotation?
Yeah, very. Tonight wasn't our night. I actually thought Nestor threw the ball okay. He wasn't giving up a ton of hard contact. Had a hard time putting guys away tonight. Yeah. They were spoiling pitches. He'd get to 2 strikes, couldn't finish guys off.
This guy's unbelievable.
Our guys are more than capable, and hand the ball over to Carlos tomorrow. He's throwing the ball really well, and more help on the way too with guys coming from injury. So we have everything we need.
Yeah, more help on the way.
They do. Sure. How much faith do you have in that nonsense?
Can you imagine him actually sitting up there and saying, and this is the third awful start in a row by Cortez, and it's the third start where he sat there and said that guy went 4 2/3, gave up 9 hits and 6 runs. What? You thought he threw the ball pretty well? I mean, come on. Get serious, man. I mean, this guy has been completely racked his last few times out. 4 2/3, 6 runs. 5 1/3, 3 runs. 4 2/3, 4 runs. 6 runs, 5 runs. He gives up 4, 5, 6+ runs every single start. That's not throwing the ball pretty well.
Every time out. He's even worse on the road. He's even worse
on the road. Worse on the road. More bad news for them. Anthony Volpe left the game with foot pain. They are not playing tonight. They've already been rained out. They're going to play 2 tomorrow with the Texas Rangers in the Bronx. Jazz Chisholm did hit his first Yankee Stadium homer in the loss. The Reds beat the Marlins 10-4. The Jays beat the Orioles 7-6. I have for you today a trio, a hat trick of bell ringers from the Lion's Share yesterday. What? And why don't we start the first one in Toronto? And you want to talk about someone who's smoking hot. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has a 20-game hit streak going. He has now homered in 10 of those 20 games. And he did it for us again, ringing the bell on Sportsnet last night.
2-1. Fastball hit well right field. O'Hearn going back. Leaps at the wall. It's gone. His 10th homer in the 20-game streak puts the Blue Jays back on the board. It's 5-2.
I thought that uniform that he had on was badass.
I thought so too.
That uniform they're wearing is cool.
City Connect jerseys they were wearing last night, which are pretty nice. And you know what else I noticed? Not just last weekend when they were in the Bronx, but last night watching them hit that tater to the opposite field. he seems like half of himself from like the last 2 years, right? Remember how big he was the last year and a half, 2 years ago? He is slimmed down, and it's helped his game because he's not just hitting homers. I mean, the guy had a double, triple. He was a single short of the cycle last night. He's got a 20-game hit streak. I think it has served him, obviously, very well that he got rid of all that weight he was carrying around for those last couple of years.
Yeah, as you know, I'm a big fan of eating, and I'm also a fan of having a, old man gut and a liquor gut. And it's just sometimes in life you have to just accept where you stand with things in terms of trying to lose weight at my age has become just a rigorous waste of time. There's just too much work involved, and I prefer eating and drinking and women.
There's nothing wrong with that at all. Anthony Santander of the Orioles, he's having an amazing year as well. He's a free agent at the end of the year. No extension talks. The Orioles haven't even talked to him about extending him. I know they've got 1,000 prospects coming through.
Can you imagine this guy? Does he hit enough home runs for you, and they won't even talk to him?
He's going to get paid this offseason. That's for sure, by somebody. It might not be them, but it's going to be somebody that pays him.
He'll leave.
It's an incredible setup here, incredible matchmaking, incredible storytelling. Oh, you had to come here. All these fighters that step in here are warriors, and all have my respect. And I'm into this game, yeah. We'll be into this, yeah.
And we are live here in the Maverick Center, here in Salt Lake City, Utah, folks. What a night. It is going to be historic indeed for BKFC 56.
Whoever's the king of violence right here, this is going to be a great fight. Harry on the top. Right hand from the great double champion. Who's the king of violence? I am!
Combat fighting in its purest form, bare knuckle fighting in the city of angels.
80 seconds remaining.
We've got the biggest announcement in the BKFC history we're about to make, so let's make that announcement.
What's up, Knucklemania? The notorious Conor McGregor here. Ladies and gentlemen, the huge announcement that I have for you today. Conor McGregor, myself, and McGregor Sports and Entertainment is now an owner of Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Welcome to the big leagues. David Feldman, baby, we did it.
He's now an owner of BKFC with us, and we're going to take this motherfucking thing all the way to the top now.
Always good. Gino Bacola, our boy from the Daily Racing Forum, he just said to me in the break that I said to Carver High, there's a tornado warning here in New York City right now. We're doomed. And then Gino said, you guys have that weather. You can have it, you sissies, with all your tornadoes and rain and snow and ice and sleet and cold and misery. You deserve it. This is what he said to me as he's living out in Los Angeles, styling with a suntan, going to the track, going to Del Mar. I I mean, this guy,
it's a different world where you guys are. I see the weather, and it's like, this is the same country that I'm in. It just looks completely different. I'm right across the street from the beach. We're at Del Mar last week. There's not a cloud in the sky. It's just gorgeous. But what I'll do this week with some of our plays, guys, just to steer clear of some of that possible bad weather at Saratoga, they canceled racing Friday. They moved a couple of the big races from Saturday to Sunday. So I'll give you a few plays at Del Mar, and then I'll give you a NFL future wager for the division that I looked at this most recent week. Remember, you're one. Yeah.
Why in God's name did they move the turf races Saturday when it's supposed to be 85 and sunny with not a cloud in the sky tomorrow at Saratoga? Same thing Sunday. I get it, but why not race both days?
So last week, they tried to wait till it was too late, and then they had to cancel, or they had to try to postpone the races, and instead they would run race 5, 6, 7. There wasn't an 8th race. Then they would run the 9th race. There wasn't a 10th race. It was so confusing because you couldn't play any multiple race exotics. Fans out at the track were having to wait 50 minutes in between races. I think they wanted to try to play it as safe as possible, and then in doing so, it looks like they should have just run the races as normal and probably gotten that normal weather. So let's go to Del Mar. We'll give you a few plays over there, a few big prices, because that's where I think we'll at least be consistent with the weather. We're not going to get any rain out here in Del Mar. I've got 3 plays for you. We'll go real quick. Race number 4 is the first one for me. And like always, I'm always going to be looking for big plays, big prices. So in race number 4 at Del Mar, we're going to the number 7, Cathel. There's not a lot of speed in there. This horse is actually going to be able to sit pretty close from the outside. 5-1 on the morning line. That's going to be our first play for Saturday. I've got one in the 6th race, and I'll even raise the ante a little bit here with the number 3, Sea of Cortez, who is 10-1. This horse has raced 5 times, has a win, has a second beaten just a neck, and then a couple races where he just had some legitimate trouble, brutal trips, races where he had no shot to win. He's a very fair price of 10-1 on the morning line, and we'll close things out for you. Probably my favorite of the 3 is to close it out at Del Mar on Saturday in race number 10, the number 3, Wimberley, who's going to go back to the grass, and another horse. A lot of the races that I look at, I love to watch the replays and find horses that had trouble. Maybe they got stuck in traffic. They were in a spot where they just had no chance. A lot of times you're going to get better value on them the next time because people will look at the line. They'll see that they got beat by a few lengths. They'll see they finished 5th, when we can really dive into that race and know that they were better than that look. So you always got to try to find a way you can extract some value.
All right, so 4th race, the 7-horse Cathel. Then in the 6th race, the 3-horse Sea of Cortez. That is the Salton Sea's nephew. And then in the 10th race, the 3-horse Wimberley. And you're getting Cathel at 5-1, Cortez at 10-1, and Wimberley at 8-1. I love the odds. That's fantastic. All right, we always like to talk football with Gino. And remember, you can follow him on X at It's Me, Gino B, styling on X. And you can do that for free. So what's your future of the day here for us in the NFL Pain Day, looking at the season win totals?
The Jets win total is 9.5, and it's actually very highly juiced to the over. So they're telling us the Jets are going to win 10 games this year. Keep in mind, this is a team that has not had a winning season since 2015. Aaron Rodgers played 4 snaps last year. On paper, do they have a very good roster? Yes, they had some improvements on the offensive line. They'll have one of the best defenses in the league. But we have major question marks about Aaron Rodgers, about Smith on the offensive line, about Mike Williams, who they brought in at wide receiver. Are they going to be around towards the end of the season when this team has a brutal schedule? I think they can go 9-8 and be battling for a final playoff spot, and you're still going to be able to hit this plus money future at plus 132. So that's my future for this week. I'm going to go under the win total on the Jets. I think they can win 9 games, and you're still great. Let me give you my final plug for DRF before we get out of here. DRF.com, that's everything you need anytime you play the races. Articles, past performances, help with playing the races. Love talking with you every week, Scotty. Have a great one.
Gino, my man, have fun at Del Mar.